So the argument would be, what if I don't have enough hair? I'm spreading it out so I can fit it on all, in all of the important parts of the head. I get that. So here's the choices. You spread it out this way, and you can spread it out this way, right? So if I don't spread it this way, I just got to spread it more this way to make it go further. So to me, like solid lines from one side of the head to the other, starting here, going all the way around the very top row, and then do a solid line for the very bottom row. Even if it's got a curve down and around to follow the hairline, it's a solid row. Well, I did the top row and the bottom row. One of the biggest tricks I learned over the years was to draw the picture before I color it in. So do all of the perimeter before I do any shading in the middle. And so that's a good verbal verbal picture, a word picture. I'm describing it in a way that you can mentally say, you know what, drawing the picture and then coloring it in, both has to be done, but which one's most important? Most people just start at the bottom and go up. I start at the top and go down. Well, I had my daughter-in-law in here, trace it, then color it in. I had my daughter-in-law in here recently doing the model, and she goes, oh, that's interesting. I always started in the middle. I said, well, I've never heard of that one, but that's interesting. She would start right in the middle of the head, go all the way around. I said, it's not a bad idea. She said, and then I would just kind of figure out if they needed any above it or below it. So the reason why I start in the middle is still a step closer to doing it right compared to starting in the bottom. When you start in the bottom, you're starting in this little section of hair in the back that does not even bring the sides into account yet. And you can stack a whole bunch of hair up the back and you can just go through half or 3/4 of the hair that you got for that client. If you're not super experienced with putting hair in, you just buy the amount of hair Bernard says you should have, and you start in the very bottom and you start just really packing it in at the bottom. You could run out before you get as high as the ears and end up with no hair to come around the sides.
We get those phone calls. I need emergency overnight, Yeah.
So to me, if you get above the ears, whether you do it like Mallory and start right in the middle or do it at the top, either way starts some hair on the side. So you're starting with hair on the side and all the way around to the back. And so now you've got a better idea of what does it look like. Oh, maybe I need to add a little more on the sides, a little more on the back. And so I say by doing the top row around and the bottom row around, especially when you're doing keratin or any type of individual strand, I say the bottom row should follow the hairline a little bit. You don't have to get real close to the hairline in the back, but at least dip down a little. You can let all the hair down and see what it looks like now. Most of the time, now you need to put a little in between the top and bottom row on the sides. The side that it parts to might need a little more and a little less, but something in between the two on the sides, get your sides looking right. Then use the rest of the hair up on the back of the head. You're going to have a bigger space between the top and bottom row because there's more head back there. But that's when you decide, listen, I'm just going to tell you my basic pattern. And I called it a 1, 2, 3. It was so simple. Most people's hair is parted over here. I mean, not here, but on one side or the other. But let's just say it's, you know what? Let's use my hair, for example. It's parted here, right? It's parted on this side. So I've got a top row. They're asymmetrical, and that freaks people out. And it's going all the way around. And then I've got a bottom row going all the way around, right? So now I've got these two rows are closer together than these two. So when I'm putting a little bit of hair on each side to about the back of the ear, I'm putting a few hairs, the 5 you talked about, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, maybe 6, 1 row, 2 rows on the back, 3 rows in between the top and the bottom. So I'm doing the top, the bottom, and literally in that order. I'm going to do the sides first, 1 row, 2 row, because you know what that 3rd row, those 3 rows in the back might be? They might actually be checkerboarded. They might actually have some space between the bonds, between the rows. Because now
what you're filling in,
it doesn't matter because I got a solid row at the top, a solid row at the bottom. That's going to pull the top layer and the bottom layer together. Now that middle section in the back can be anything. It can be 1 solid row across the middle and the back, but you might have enough hair to do the 3 rows I'm talking about if you ordered enough hair. But that's where you just kind of decide how to spread it out back there, because the top and bottom row pulls it all together. Now you're putting thickness in. You just need to evenly spread the hair out from side to side and in that back section. And typically I finish the sides, top row, bottom row, and sides. Then I count how much hair do I have left. and I look in the back, because the top row in the back, not the very top row, the top row of the fill-in is going to be wider because the head gets skinnier as it goes down. So it might be like, I can remember, it used to be like 15, 10, 7 or something like that, or 15, 9, 7, depending on the size of the head. And so you got to kind of count. What do I have left? 30 strands. Oh, that's 3 rows of 10. But the bottom row is going to be a few less and the top row is going to be a little bit more. Perfect. Let's put those 3 rows in. But if you just started with one row in the middle, that'd be the safe space, and then figure out what you need a little above it and below it. Yeah. And so RJ brought up a good point. It's the reason I do what I do. He said, make the sides look good. That's what the clients look at. That's why I finish. Start with the sides. In the top and bottom row, you got sides. And then when you finish the sides, that's what they see in the mirror. That's what keeps them happy throughout the service and for weeks after. So filling in the back, they don't see it. Top row and bottom row takes care of it for the most part. Put your extra hair there, but get those sides right before you're done for the day.